Oh my
We're
God.
back.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I'm not a cat.
Welcome to Last Call of Cthulhu. Patreons, you are awesome and continue to be awesome. And really, we're just doing this for you.
Because you are Patreons, and thank you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I was like, you could probably see about when you guys first went to the village, when I asked if you wanted to go in the water, I was like, I really don't want to have to just by fiat kill these people. But that was like where it was headed.
No, I knew full well that it was just like.
Well, and I'm also familiar enough with the lakes that I don't want to go into the deep water if I don't have to, because fuck approximately all of that noise.
Well, it would be hilarious how he would die too, because Jared would be throwing the dynamite and swim, and then the people on the shore are like, "Who are you and what are you doing?"
They're like, "Do you want to come in for coffee?"
Ezra, your face did the. Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah,
That was your face.
It was I mean, going into the cave was the same thing. I was like, I will be very interested to see how,
how they get out of this one, which was the tagline for this episode.
Yeah.
Spending a lot of inspiration on the roles to get out, I guess.
So the question I have for you, Ezra, is was this planned? Like, was this the cave where the cans?
I thought it was just gonna be a smuggler cave. I'm like, we're gonna go in there, it's gonna be smugglers, it's gonna be fine. Oh, we go in there, it's smugglers, it's fine. Oh, fish thing comes out of the can. This is
so it. I knew the smugglers and the deep ones were connected,
Sure.
but the fish thing just sort of came to me. Like, I loved the idea. So originally, like, the cans were like, there was going to be like an embryo or something in there. Right. But I kind of liked the idea of like, the alien, like I had the image of the thing from Alien that like leaps out. That was kind of what I was going for.
That's cool.
But the cave was going to be something, but I didn't know what. And, ignoring all of the real geology of everything there, like there's the whole honeycombed caves and everything like that. I still have no idea if that village was good people or not. There was only one way for you to find out.
Mm.
The baby wouldn't have been crying, it would have been like garbling or something.
Yes.
The only thing that quiets the baby down is human flesh. So there were a couple times this episode where you guys did things that I was totally not expecting. And, I had to sort of make stuff up on the fly. And like, I wasn't expecting you to like, at the seance thing, I wasn't expecting you to like try and involve normies, like the doctor. And I was like, I'll make a sanity roll. And he's just like, nope.
Nope, right on out of there.
But that was kind of fun. You guys, you keep me on the toes. This was I also wasn't really sure what was going to happen with the seance. I was just fooling around with that and seeing where it went. I was just glad some of you sat down. That was
well, I figured the Ramsey wouldn't be in the middle of all that. Would be out back there going.
Yeah. So the things that I knew were going to happen, I knew I had the opening scene with Susanna figured out, of the never ending, like, cause Rachel and I were on a walk and I'm like, so where do people go when Batroc takes them over? And
a Disney musical.
Yeah, that's sort of like, they go to like somewhere that, so I read actually several months ago, the Thor comic book had an amazing run where Thor in like the 70s had an alter ego and he would like bang his stick down and he'd become Dr. Don Blake. And when he'd bang his stick and become Thor, it never occurred to me that Dr. Don Blake had to go somewhere. And they created this story where Odin made this never-ending suburb and Dr. Blake just walked in that suburb, like not really realizing anything.
Wow.
And but then Thor stopped having an alter ego. And so Blake was there for 20 years.
Oh my God.
And like started to feel like, after about year 2, you're like, hey, wait a minute. And so the run of the story was that the alter ego of Thor, Donald Blake, becomes like this raging psychopath and killed everyone in that fake place. and then like somehow convince Thor like change places. It was, but
I mean, very realistically, if you hadn't pulled me out of there so fast, I was gonna start shooting, and I was gonna start with Lily.
that was, you know, that was one of the things I asked Rachel. I'm like, so what happens if she draws a gun in a Disney musical? I don't like. I was trying to imagine like.
Because I am still me. I still look
Right.
like myself with my gun. I was not changed into a Mary Poppins fantasy land.
Right.
But
Well, that's why I
what-
very specifically made sure you knew you had your gun.
Yeah.
You know, just to
Well,
say
but-
that was there. Because like
What's
in my
so
head, I was like,
interesting is that was like my thought was, are you a split personality at this point? So are all these people in your head? Are
Right.
all these people
Ooh.
you? Because Tiana could have just been laying on the ground still.
Are they
Right.
all Emma bunnies?
Yeah.
Right.
kinda.
Wow.
who
Emma bunnies.
you know, I had the, and you know, so then I had to, the thing I had to, I told you before we started, Amy, that I had to retcon a little something, because I think I told you that Abe remembered just a dream of kind of what happened
Yeah.
when he got
that,
taken
like,
over. And so
yeah,
I
it's kinda
obviously
like
I hadn't come.
Yeah, you're like underwater is kind of what
Yeah.
I was like, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of like when what's her name? Night of Chris took over Suzanne. It's like you're in there, but you're not.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
just like, apparently these things happen. Like it was a weird dream to you.
Yeah. And so I, you know, that was, I wish I'd had the idea then, because, you know, I would have killed to have some actual Abe scene. You know, the 6 Glorious Days could have been a whole episode.
I know. I would have never come back. I'd have been like, what?
Right.
Well, I mean, we could do that as a special episode.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out
That
there.
would be cool.
Yeah, Jared's like, don't touch him. I was like, fuck that. I'm going
You like
back
tackle him. You're like,
Yeah.
bring me back
back.
there.
to my glorious home. I want to go back.
They were making me a statue.
Man. So is that our
star.
musical episode? Is that our musical episode?
I've got to pee on that guy.
I love the
Oh, man.
idea that he has no idea where they go, and he's like, "You're crazy." Get
Right.
off."
Yeah. 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 He doesn't
Oh,
understand
man.
his power.
Oh,
That
man.
was, so that was the two things. I had the Susanna scene, and then I knew Batroc was going to like talk with you with the gun at the head. That was pretty much
Wow.
what I had prepared. for
Oh,
this.
man. Well, one thing that was interesting to me is that, you know, we're on the boat and we're talking to our pirate friend, and, you know, Elias goes, "Go ahead, Ramsey." And Ramsey's thinking, well, they told me I should be honest to people, so I'm going to tell them.
Who told you that?
Well, Susanna's like, don't lie to the police. So
In which universe is a pirate captain a cop?
I want to be clear about this. I'm not a cop.
no.
I'd have to tell
But
you
there-
if I
know,
was
it's
a
like,
cop. That's
but people
entrapment
kept telling me,
otherwise.
oh, we should tell the truth. And then when Elias goes, "Go ahead," I was
Right.
like,
No, it
that was
deliberately
Elias.
misunderstanding us, or is it?
That was Elias saying, if I say something, I'm going to say something. So
Yeah.
somebody else do this.
right. And so I was like, all right.
But
And
I
it's-
love how
that-
Isaiah doesn't freak out. And we're all just like, okay.
He just wants more money.
Yeah.
I mean,
liked
man,
that.
$10.
I liked
That'll
that.
probably get him that'll get his boat fixed. I really enjoyed how little preparation went into your cave entrance plan. There was no rope involved. There was no like.
Look, literally every time that we try to make plans, something goes wrong with the plans, and then we've spent a half hour arguing over the plan and wasting time. We've gotten to the point where it's just like, why the fuck should we make a plan? There's no point. We don't keep it anyway, and it all falls apart in the first like 3 seconds.
And like, I can't imagine a plan that we would have come up with which would remedy our situation. If anything, if like we're gonna wait till there's more people, just be like, well, more people are gonna die as we do this.
Maybe like tying a rope to the boat and, you know, dragging it in
Mhm.
with you. That might have.
Underwater gear.
Why?
Like,
Then,
we're-
no, that would be worse, because then we're trying to get the boat out and not die at the same time.
That is very reminiscent of trying to get Bessie and the cart out while the were-rats are attacking.
Oh.
And we don't like that comparison.
I mean, I was surprised that the cave was actually one of the things we're looking for.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the things that I think about a lot is how unsatisfying a lot of red herrings are. You know, and so
Mhm.
I think that's a well you don't want to go to that often, because it just burns time. You
I
know,
was
and-
expecting it. I personally was like, okay, we're going to a cave. I feel like this is not the right cave. This is a red herring. When we get back, though, something will show up that needs to make us chase something.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so what is that thing? So in my head, I'm already thinking ahead, like, who do we talk to next? Where are we going next? Who do we, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
who do
I
we
mean,
start
it's-
dunking
it's-
in the water to see if they turn into a fish.
So
or
that
not.
was good. That was good that we got that
I
switch.
just love that we're gonna be
Oh
swimming.
my
down.
god.
There's actual fish people. It's really this was a cave. Because like I went in and I was like, it's just I didn't think it was gonna be anything. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, we're gonna find a clue. There's gonna be smugglers. It's like, no, it's the real. This is it.
And assuming we get back alive, we're gonna start doing the thing from Luca where we splash people with water to see if they change.
The
So is this
No,
is this-
dynamite. In this case, we splash them with dynamite.
Water first, then dynamite.
Dynamite.
I'm
Sorry,
just wondering
Thomas.
if is this the spawning grounds or is this just a cave storing
I mean,
stuff?
they should be sending their babies other places. I mean, that's what spawning grounds is they're
well, you'd
canning
think
them
the
and shipping
spawning
them.
would happen and produce what's in the can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
I don't want to have to explain this to Abe. You know, it's-
No.
we're interrupting the supply line. That's the whole point.
but I think to your point, is this this is a place? Is it the place?
I don't think we're going to go into any more underwater caves. I think it's like,
You're assuming a lot. You're assuming a lot in assuming that you and I are going to survive this, my friend.
well, no,
Yeah, no.
if we die, what I said holds true.
Yeah.
I wonder what happens to Jared if he drowns.
Ooh. That's a good question.
Does
He
he
turns
even
into
breathe
foam
air?
on the ocean. The way.
Oh, the Little Mermaid.
Yeah. Little
The,
Mermaid.
the original story had her
Right?
die and turn into foam on the ocean.
Yeah, the
I mean,
Hans Christian
apparently
Andersen one
we're
has also.
incorporating Disney stuff. Although in the Disney Little Mermaid, obviously that didn't happen. But
Right.
you know,
Because
I do really want to do a musical
Messing up
like
those.
that,
I totally do.
but it would be like a lot of work.
it would be, but it'd be a lot of fun.
but Julie can write all the songs for it.
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
Let me tell you, improving songs is like the hardest for me. Is the hardest improv.
Improving songs and improving Shakespeare. Those are the two that are incredibly
Shakespeare.
difficult because one, I mean, you have to keep to a tune and make the lyrics make sense, and the other, you're keeping to an iambic pentameter,
Right.
which is just fuck difficult to do it off
Yeah.
the cuff.
Yeah. That was fun. I had a good time.
This is great.
So I think anybody else want to,
Yeah.
Well,
Get ready for us to be dunking people and throwing dynamite next week.
I can't
Just
wait for you to
like
just start
Just
throwing
like
Like
March-
people.
witch
March the
trials all
entire-
over again.
march the entire town down to the dock and just like shove every person into the water and shoot the ones who come out as fish people.
We got 38 sticks of dynamite left after this. So I mean, yeah,
Man.
38. Yeah.
I mean, I am not opposed. The player is not opposed to raising this town to the ground.
How much dynamite did you bring into the cave?
3?
Oh, just 3.
Yeah, so you've got 2 that are going to be set off here.
Oh yeah, because
Because you threw
Yeah,
you,
the
you
one.
2 on the
you
Which
know,
is a
boat.
shame, but also we didn't have to fight a fish person. So.
Yeah, no, I'd say that was a very effective use of dynamite.
I'm in favor. I'm in favor of not dealing with that more than we have to.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was what was the name of the waitress?
Irma.
Irma.
Irma. I was thinking, the back came up. You saw the tramp stamp on the back.
I have to ask though, was it Irma with an E or an I?
Does it matter?
I wrote it with
Yes.
an I.
Okay.
I wrote it with
Okay,
an I.
I wrote it with
Okay.
an E. I'm gonna have to change that.
I mean, growing up, my piano teacher was Irma with an E.
Abe is not much for spelling. For him,
Let's
it's Irma with a
remember her name.
yes.
Good night, everyone.
Nice.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Goodbye, Patreon friends.